Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is a meeting of the Southfield Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered as a community meeting. There is one opportunity for public participation during the meeting, and comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. The boards will listen to comments but may not respond during the meeting. If you wish to address the board, please submit a comment card immediately. Roll call, Ashanti Bland, Board President.
Good evening, Yvette Ware Duvall, Vice President.
Good evening, Talisha Belk, Board Treasurer.
Good evening, Amani Johnson, Board Trustee.
Good evening, Jillian Holloway, Trustee.
Good evening, Michaela Beckford, Student Board Representative.
Good evening, Eric Spraggin, Student Board Representative.
We have Trustee Joyce, who will be absent this evening, as well as our Board Secretary, Trustee Leslie Love Smith-Thomas.
Good evening, Dr. Jennifer Green, Superintendent, members of the Executive District Network team assembled in the audience, and our technical support is being provided by M1 Studios.
May we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Board matters. Trustees, does anyone have any board matters this evening?
Through the chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a quick board matter. To our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, to all of those that are picking up students and dropping students off or vice versa, please be patient with all of the SORs that are directing traffic, all of the volunteers, please be patient, be courteous, as we are trying to get you guys off campus just as quick as you want to be, and that's for all of our locations in our buildings. Thank you.
Anyone else? I have a few board matters. First, I would like to say welcome back to this 24-25 school year. We are so happy to see everyone. Secondly, I'd like to say that we will be addressing some things that are probably of high concern to many of you in the audience. The first of which is staffing. That will be addressed in the report of the superintendent. The second of which is we have some issues going on with our scheduling and our specials for some of our students in different buildings. We'll also be addressing that. We're going to address the vacancies during the HR report. We also would like to say thank you to everyone who has been stepping up, directing traffic, helping our scholars find their classrooms, working lunch duty. We appreciate you all. We had our first football game on Friday. Second football game on Friday, and I'm sure our student board reps will be reporting out on that. I would like to welcome them to the table. Eric Spraggins, representing Southfield A&T, and Michaela Beckford, representing UK-12 Academy. Lastly, we have our MASB Delegate Assembly. I do believe that we already have 2 trustees who have stepped up to the plate to fill those seats, and that is our Board Secretary, Leslie Love Smith-Thomas, and our Vice President, Trustee Ware Duvall. Is that correct, Vice President?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, so Ms. Foster, we will need to register them for that Thursday in October to represent our district at the Delegate Assembly. I would also like to say that I know many of you would like to get home to see the historic debate, so we are not going to keep you for 18 hours this evening. We are going to make it short and sweet so that everybody can get home safely to see the debate between Harris and Trump. Lastly, there was one other thing that we were going to discuss. Oh, Stevenson. Stevenson is undergoing their construction. They are the second building in our district to undergo bond work. They are now located at Eisenhower. So I just want to remind everyone as we approach the election that if your voting polling station is Stevenson, don't go there. Y'all gonna be locked out. So there are alternatives. They're posted on the City of Southfield website, and we will have it posted on our website as we come closer to the date. Other than that, I will turn it over to our report of the student board representatives, and I will allow ladies to go first this evening, and Michaela Beckford of University K-12.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
For September, here are the past as well as current events for the University K-12 occurring this month, previously known as University Millen High School Academy. As we all know, University K-12 kicked off their first day of school with the senior clap-in and the painting of the rock. Thanks to parents, volunteers, and organizations like Sigma Gamma Rho sorority and Delta Sigma Theta sorority. We are also able to clap in the other students from all other grade levels. We would like to send a special thank you to all stakeholders for approval of the bond. We are looking forward to all the upgrades to our building and campus as a whole. This past Friday, seniors will sort into our RCA, Ron Clark Academy houses. Senior crew leaders will help plan the next houses sorting party for grades 9th through 11th this week. This system aims to foster a positive bond between the students K-12 and staff. RCA's methods provide a framework to build character and a sense of service and encouragement for scholar to scholar that impacts the whole school spirit. We are also proud to say that University K-12 is now offering AP Research for the first time in 2 years. Now students can take full advantage of the AP Capstone program and receive the AP Capstone certificate or diploma. I would also like to give a special thank you to Ms. Hudson and Ms. Lott for taking the time to complete the training this summer in AP Seminar and AP Research. The senior class and their board has some events also in the works this month. This will include the opening of our Spirit store called The Stable. Seniors will begin selling Senior Sundays next week in the Spirit store, where they'll sell ice cream sundaes to support senior activities. Our Double Good popcorn sales will also begin on the 19th and end on the 22nd. We will finish out this month with the homecoming game and dance hosted by Southfield Arts and Technology on the 27th and 28th. The theme is NYC at Night. Also, our senior pinning. Senior scholars will receive a pin and pledge their commitment to finish high school, and parents will also pledge their support to support their scholar along this financial journey and final journey. This date is forthcoming, but scheduled for October. Also, this month, our class board has successfully planned and executed our senior sunrise with over 50 of our seniors in attendance.
Thank you, Michaela. Great job. Trustees, do you have any questions for our student board rep from UK12? Hearing none. Mr. Spraggins of Southfield A&T.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the Board of Education for appointing me to this position. And I'm here to report that the state of the school is strong, united, and better than ever. Starting off, we have a lot to talk about. Our dual enrollment program successfully launched on Monday with students participating in Introduction to Psychology and Introduction to Computer Science. These courses offer students the opportunity to earn both high school credits and college credits, and students can also work towards obtaining certifications through these programs. As asked by the board, I have came up with my board project, and meeting with administration, talking with students, and consulting with staff, I decided that my board project will focus on revitalizing our school spirit through a project titled Bringing Back the School Spirit the Warriors Way. Southfield A&T have so many talented individuals, from photographers to editors, and we want to harness that talent. With the support of Mr. Reese and his administration, we are focusing on the following: restarting the Principal Advisory Council, reviving our school news station and morning announcement, reintroducing our student mascot, establishing a social media committee, and creating an e-newsletter committee. For our upcoming events, I would like to say that we had a successful senior sunrise yesterday, and the largest ever for the class, and the seniors are eager to start their final year on a positive note. Let me just note, it is not easy for 50-plus students to get up at 6:30 in the morning to come to school. Additionally, seniors will have the opportunity to visit Eastern Michigan University on September 20th. This is a part of an ongoing effort to provide college readiness and experience to our upperclassmen. Now, homecoming. It is set for September 28th, with a theme being a night in New York. Tickets are priced at $30, and guest passes are available. Pictures, snacks, and drinks are included with the ticket purchase, and our pep rally will be held on September 26th and are included with it will be the first of its kind, with a celebration through University High School also joining us. We will provide more information at a later date. Scheduled for September 17th, the senior parent meeting will take place at 5 p.m., followed by the general parent meeting and open house at 5:30 p.m. We encourage all parents to attend to engage with staff and learn about the resources available to our student body. Student blood drive. Despite having limited time to promote that due to school closure, our student council hosted its blood drive and exceeded its goal. One of those persons was former student board representative Braylon Boyd. Students, staff, and community members also donated, and we thank them for their support. The counseling department wishes to acknowledge Ms. Kagans for her tremendous work in creating a well-structured master schedule. Her efforts facilitated a smooth start to the school year, ensuring students and staff had a seamless transition. We are excited to offer an amazing opportunity for 45 Southfield A&T students to attend an HBCU field trip on September 20th. This is a chance for students to explore historically Black colleges and universities and gain insight to the rich history and academic programs these institutions offers. More information about this trip will be shared at our open house at Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology on September 17th. Now, what you all have been waiting for, our athletic department. The soccer team currently holds a record of 1-1. They opened the season with a strong 2-0 victory against Harper Woods, but faced a tough road loss to Farmington. But we know that they will bounce back with resilience and determination. Our volleyball season has also kicked off, and their first game will be held at home on September 12th, and we look forward to sharing them on. The girls' golf team have increased participation and will start their matches this week. We are excited to see how they're going to perform this season. And our football team, who are the reigning 2023 state champions, kicked off their season with a commanding 46-0 victory over Flint Beecher. on August 30th. They did face a tough game against Clarkson on September 6th, and unfortunately came up short, but we are warriors, and while we may have lost the battle, we certainly haven't lost the war. The season is still young, and there are plenty of fighting left in us. Thank you, and that concludes my board report.
Trustees, do we have any questions for Mr. Spraggins this evening? Wonderful job to both of you. As we tend to do, you are welcome to leave to do homework or whatever else you need to do, or you're welcome to stay. We would just ask that if you're going to leave, please do so now. If not, you're welcome to stay. Great job, both of you.
That's right, Ms. Foster, give them another round of applause. Amazing young people.
Oh, you're fine. Dr. Green is going to begin the report of the superintendent, but I just want to remind everyone that our athletics are combined, and so when you hear Southfield A&T speaking about any programs, those are also a representative of our students at University K-12. I know for some parents that are new to the district, it appears as if Southfield A&T are the only ones, but our children are bused, and it is a combination of both. So I just wanted to lift that.
Thank you, Board President. And to speak of additional programming that we have for all students in the district, I'd like to invite our partners, Sound Mind, Sound Body, to the podium to discuss some additional offerings for our scholars throughout the district. Mr. Curtis Blackwell and Mr. Sean Smith.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's definitely a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Sound Mind, Sound Body Foundation. I'm Curtis Blackwell, the president and co-founder. We've been around for 20 years, and as a resident here in the Southfield community, I stay right here on Pembroke Drive. I am so elated to be able to report out on the success of our collaborative efforts here within the school district. We worked with the Michigan Department of Education to create an out-of-school time program which allowed for the students within Southfield schools to receive free after-school programming every single day for almost 200 days. 200 days, that means the kids got social emotional learning, academic enrichment, hot meals from January all the way through August, all right? And that was really due to the support of Dr. Green, Mr. Jackson, and Ms. Summer Carruthers. They were really, they had the vision to see what we were trying to bring to the district. And not only that, we had to submit a proposal to the Michigan Department of Education. And thanks in part to the information that they gave us, we submitted a strong grant that allowed us to present a program that was actually #1 in the state of Michigan. Let's give a round of applause for being #1. All right. And so within this program, I presented to the board members. I just wanted you all to understand and know that, you know, some of the work that was taking place. We had 800 students participating. As you flip through this deck here, if I would have known, I would have brought a proposal on the screen so that you all could follow along. But it has some data on the attendance. We have a couple of students and parents who will also just say a couple remarks about the opportunity. But if you turn to the 4th page, the program was able to donate over $23,000 in resources to the school district, all right? So that's from resources for the football team, sleds, instruments for the marching band at the middle school, things that will carry on well beyond the program itself. Also, you will see some of the field trips. The students went to the NFL draft. They went to the NBA Math Hoops Regional with the Detroit Pistons. They went to the Lansing for a Capitol Day with the governor. So they had some experiences that were outside of the scope of being here on campus itself. And so with that, I would also like to mention that we had sports and really what it consisted of, just so you know, when it says out of school time, it basically meant that every day after school, parents knew that their students were in a safe place for about 3 to 4 hours, okay? And so when they arrived, the students got a meal, and then at half of the time, they would do academic enrichment, and then after that, they would either do athletics, the girls would do cheerleading or stunning, the marching band would work on marching band practice, and then also we had esports. And so every single day, and even in the summer, the students got an opportunity to be involved in things that normally would cost them out of their pockets. And so thanks in part to the Michigan Department of Education, this was totally funded. So it did not cost the district not $1. And so we look forward to offering this again in 2025. And I'll turn it over to Sean Smith to go from here.
How's everyone doing? Thanks, Curtis. So I guess my role here is to bridge the gap between Sound Mind, Sound Body, Youth Academy, and I'm also the president of the Southfield Falcons. So what the Southfield Falcons and Sound Mind, Sound Body have done is partnered up in the past 3 years. So for the audience that's not aware, Southfield Falcons have been around since 1954. We're going on 69 years of serving the community. That's the main thing I want to get across. The next thing is we are the largest football cheer mentoring program in the Midwest. We're right here in our backyard in South, and I'm going to go a stretch to say we're probably in the nation, and that's to be truthful. We're probably the largest youth football and cheer program in the nation right now. We service, this year we at 375 student athletes. These numbers are amazing to me because I say this, when I first met Dr. Green, I don't know if she remembers, the first thing she asked me, what's your demographics? So then I met with Mr. Jackson a few months ago, and what does he say? What's your demographics? So guess what? We got demographics. So we're gonna read a few demographics here for you. So, we're the largest program in the Midwest. We're serving kids K through 8 year-round 12-month program. So we service from January to December. Over 375 student athletes with a 91% retention rate. 75% students that in our program are residents of Southfield and our students in Southfield. In January 2024, it was our first outing where we partnered with Sound Mind, Sound Body with our school time program where we launched 5 locations, which I like to call 5 franchises, which 250 students, over 23 staff members, and we did this in a matter of 3 weeks. So it was pretty phenomenal. We got the grant. I think Kurt called me when I was in Florida in December. I immediately text Dr. Green, and she sent the smiley face back. I'm like, okay, she knew something that we didn't know. It was going to be a lot of work. So we got going in January. We had over 250 students here with a 98% retention rate. Our summer program had over 250 students with a 97% retention rate. But the main thing about this is we had over 600 students apply for this program. But we had to cap it off because of locations, because of spacing, because of construction. We had to cap it off at 250 students. And Kurt talked about the percentages here was ranked #1 in the state of Michigan due to our enrollment numbers, our retention rate, and our programming content. So it was fantastic first year, and the thing about it, guys, is that since this program is launched, I think we have over 80 schools interested in this program right now across the state of Michigan. It's absolutely amazing. Before we wind this down, I got a couple of our students here and a couple of Southfield parents, student parents here. I'd like for them to come up and say a word. Could you come up, Devin Levy and Allison, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Levy. So my daughter participated in the after-school time program. She had an amazing time. She would come home and tell me about the vendors. She talked about Dr. Smith's program. She talked about the Code 313 program, the different foods. They had a variety of foods that they had every day. So she was always bragging on it. And then she enjoyed the fact that she could be with her cheer sisters. She had extra time to actually bond with her sisters. She really enjoyed her time during the program.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Allison Dean. My daughter, she's not here today, but she is a cheerleader and also attended the after-school program during the winter months and then the summer program as well. And like Devin was saying, I mean, it was just really great for the girls. A lot of our girls were going to middle school, our children go to university. So it was good for them to do it was like conflict resolution. They had a vendor come in to help them with conflict resolution, etiquette class. I mean, that's all they kind of talked about. And I believe that my daughter talked to me with little issues she had at school and said the same thing, like, hey, they showed me this little conflict resolution thing that I could use with my friends, and I actually had to go ahead and apply that. So I think the program was really beneficial for the girls. Carrie here, she wants to talk about her experience at our summer program too.
Hi, Southfield Public Schools Board of Education. My name is Carrie McGee. I am a scholar of University K-12 Academy. This summer, I attended the Sound Mind, Sound Body summer course, where we talked about social skills. We learned how to use conflict resolution. We learned how to use things we would use in our day-to-day lives, in school, work, and any real process in, our day-to-day lives. I really liked the program because I got time to bond with my sisters, and I got to eat food. They provided food for us in the morning, and they provided food before and after, and I had a really good time bonding with everybody, learning more about the staff that helped us, and learning more about my cheer sister that I haven't had a good bond with over the summer.
Hello, my name is Tori Levy. I am a Southfield Falcons cheerleader, and I attended the Sound Mind, Sound Body program at Vanderburg. I enjoyed the Dr. Smith's program, and I enjoyed the food that we got to eat.
I'm not going to try to follow behind that, so I'm just going to end it with that. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day. Let's present to you guys. Anybody have any questions for us?
I don't have a question. I just like to say thank you. Over the last couple of years, I've had the opportunity to come to multiple events done by Sound Mind, Sound Body, and I think sometimes our culture, this demographic of people get a very bad rap for being late or being rude. There has been nothing but consummate professionalism by every single member of the team at Sound Mind, Sound Body. And I say that every time I leave one of your events. I think that the things that you do for our community are absolutely wonderful. I hope that you all keep going, but the most important thing is the presence of Black males. And it is such a refreshing sight to see you all pour into these children. I've known Tori since Tori was a baby, and I absolutely love seeing you all down at the Aretha cheering and just the camaraderie. It was absolutely wonderful. So I can't thank you all enough. My daughter did the summer school program and came home talking about, and I did a dance battle. And then they showed me how to hold everything longer. And I was like, they did all that after school? And she's like, mm-hmm. I said, did you enjoy it? Mm-hmm. That's the best part of summer school. I said, did you learn? But I really thank you all. This is a great opportunity. I hope that you stay in Southfield. The Southfield Falcons are an institution in this city that can never leave. You'll have a lot of disappointing people, and I hope the Sound Mind and Sound Body becomes an institution here as well. So thank you for the presentation. Great job. We appreciate you, and keep going.
And thank you. We want to make you guys proud of us.
For sure.
Definitely proud, Board President. The only other person I'd like to acknowledge is Ms. April Rogers, because she is our state and federal programs person, and without Ms. Rogers pouring into the grants that are supplied to the state of Michigan, none of this would be possible. So kudos to Ms. April.
Thank you all.
Transitioning to the next item on the agenda, the opening of school status. We originally planned for this meeting to happen the day after school started, but as mentioned, we had power failure in our community, causing us to utilize 50% of our forgiveness days. So I do want to lift that now to our community. The state of Michigan allows us 6 forgiveness days for acts of nature throughout the entire school year. Unfortunately, Southfield Public Schools had to utilize 3 of their days the very first week of school due to power outages and the storms that were in our community. We are going to apply to the state for an additional 3 days if we have to utilize the remaining days. But I want our community to be aware that as the winter months roll in and building issues happen and weather is impending, inclement weather may be an issue, we have to take all of those things into consideration when we make those decisions. But as of now, we only have 3 days remaining. Remote will be an option. Once we've exhausted all of our days, we did come to an agreement with our collective bargaining groups to discuss the fact that if we do run out of days and our scholars are still entitled to days, that we would transition to that of remote learning. So that is something that we are already preparing for throughout this process. I would like to thank all of our partners. We saw a significant difference in the opening of schools this year versus that of last school year. We had a few glitches with transportation, but for the most part, our transportation services went off without a hitch. We didn't have those issues that we experienced last year with transporting our scholars. We had food service ready, and I believe I received a message one day that said they had waffles and sausage and hot breakfast, so I was pleased to hear that. And you see, our students love to eat, so that was the most important thing for them during that time. We had an issue with Champions that I want to address head on. We are licensed to utilize certain facilities for Champions to provide before and after service. We cannot run those services without the state of Michigan signing off and approving those locations. We will not be afforded an opportunity to have that inspector come back out to the Eisenhower campus until later this month. Therefore, we are providing the scholars from Stevenson an opportunity to go to another location for the month of September until we become licensed at Eisenhower. There's no way we can work around that process. So I did want to address that as well. Staffing. That was a concern. We had a lot of voluntary requests for staff to be transferred to other locations throughout our district as positions became available, and we had some involuntary transfers happen as well. But I would like to provide an update as to where we are this evening, so that our community knows that our HR department, as well as our building leaders, are working feverishly to ensure that we have certified staff in all of our classrooms. Ms. Foster, if you go to the next slide. We will go school by school. For Adler, we are currently looking for an ASD teacher that is autistic spectrum disorder, and also one ASD paraprofessional there as well, and a speech pathologist. You will see that the ASD teacher is currently being filled by an ISSN team member, Intense Student Support Network, and we also have a speech pathologist being filled by one of our contractors that the board generously approved during our August meeting. At McIntyre, we have one 5th grade vacancy. You will notice that several of the other vacancies have been removed. I'm pleased to report that some of our staff that retired in June have decided to come back, and they are now on board in our schools. So we have one Mike High paraprofessional there and one 5th grade vacancy, and they are in the process of interviewing. At Stevenson, that's okay, I know, it's okay. I know we said we wanted to move swiftly, but at Stevenson, we have a 1st grade vacancy. However, a recommendation has been made to HR from that building level leadership team, as well as the 5th grade vacancy. There is a recommendation to our HR department. And when it says there's a recommendation, that means that the HR department begins to move forward with negotiating with those candidates and hopefully get them solidified in a timely manner to fill those classrooms. There is still one Spanish vacancy and one social worker vacancy. At Bernie, the 6th grade math position, the recommendation has moved to HR. You will see one ASD vacancy, again, that's the autistic spectrum disorder, EI vacancy, emotionally impaired, and the paraprofessionals for those classrooms as well. It comes as no surprise, and we've been discussing it for some time, that our special education department, also known as ISSN, Intense Student Support Network, is one of our greatest needs, and you will see at the end of this presentation how one can apply, because we are very much interested in garnering additional candidates to fill these vacancies. Thompson, one PE teacher, one elementary resource teacher, again, that is within the ISSN department, one ASD vacancy, and 4 ECDD paraprofessionals. At Levy, one CI teacher, again, in the ISSN department, 2 ASD paraprofessionals. The 6th grade science teacher, I'm pleased to share that there's a recommendation having been sent to HR along with that 7th grade science position, because I remember that being an issue with us last year as well. So both of those have recommendations pending. At the high school, one math vacancy, one science vacancy, one band vacancy, and I want to address that band vacancy for just a moment. You may recall that our previous band director accepted a promotion in another district to become an administrator, leaving us without a band director. I would like to publicly thank Mr. LaShawn Gary for stepping up and accepting the position as band director for our scholars for this year, but that still left a band vacancy there to replace our previous director, and we have a .5 vocal music vacancy there at Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology. Again, the staff are in the process of interviewing every day. I think we have one more. At University, there was a 2nd grade vacancy. They have sent a recommendation to HR to fill that position, and that person has accepted as of this afternoon. The 4th grade vacancy, the recommendation has moved forward to HR, and that person has accepted. The 6th grade math vacancy, there's a recommendation for that position, and there are 2 other interviews that were scheduled this afternoon. I've yet to receive that report because we are here this evening in real time. KLC, our site-based program, one Next Step ASD teacher, one Next Step resource teacher, one secretary, 3 SXI teacher vacancies. And again, you'll see that those are being covered by ISSN team members, and one SXI paraprofessional. Next slide. Bussey, pleased to announce that we have made some progress there. However, we still have one ECSC preschool vacancy. Again, that falls within ISSN, one speech pathologist, and one ECSE 0 to 3 teacher. That was a lot. How to apply, because we are very interested in garnering additional applicants for our pool. Southfield Public Schools has a link under the departments tab, but to be completely transparent, our website is under construction, and it is not easy to navigate, even for me, the superintendent. So as we are working to improve our systems, you can go directly to Oakland Schools, select their Human Resources tab, and go through this process to search for Southfield Public Schools job openings. We are part of the Oakland Schools Human Resource Consortium, so all of the jobs that Southfield Public Schools has available can be found on the Oakland Schools website. This is the process, and our website will be fully functional relatively soon. You can go directly from our site, but in the interim, we strongly suggest you go to Oakland Schools. Please send that to anyone that you think may be qualified for the position. I've had a chance to speak with several parents as I've been out in the schools the past 2 weeks, and some of the parents said, I seem to work really well with students. Do you think I'd be a great candidate for a paraprofessional position? I strongly encourage that they apply. And the worst thing that we can be told is no, but I do believe that if you meet the credentials and you already have the experience working with our scholars, that many of our families would be great candidates for some of these positions. Any questions, trustees?
So first, I want to thank you because this was a direct ask of mine. I think that in the lens and the hope to be more transparent, I think it's easier for the community to see this than to just look at our talent management report. So hopefully this is useful. My second ask is that we continue to see this until everything says 0. The other piece to this is that our hope is that in broadcasting this, someone will see this that really wants to be an educator, that really wants to work with extremely good kids, highly dedicated staff, and really engaged parents. So really, this is a plea for anyone who is looking to graduate college this year or in December, or any retirees that want to get back into the classroom. Please think about Southfield Public Schools. We really need great teachers. There is a teacher shortage, and we are looking to have the brightest and the best. So thank you, Dr. Green, to you and your team for putting this together. And the expectation is that we see this at some point become 000, and there's no need for it anymore. So I appreciate that. Trustees, is there anything else regarding this presentation? Yes, ma'am.
I noticed for university, 5th grade is not listed. Were we able to fill that position?
There were interviews scheduled this evening for 5th grade, so that's why I took that off.
Took it off.
I
Okay.
did.
Okay, just making sure.
We're hopeful that one of the candidates this evening, and I will say that we're very pleased to share that some of the candidates are actually our parents that had gone back to school to earn their teaching certificate, and we gave them advanced interviews to ensure they know our system, they've been parents in our system, and we wanted to give them an opportunity to present their skills to our interview panel, and several of them have been offered positions.
Okay.
So Dr. Green, item number C, I am going to ask that we table. We do not have two of our trustees here, and because this was regarding the sale of our property, it is important that all 7 of us are present. So I will ask that we table this evening and return back to it at our study session in 2 weeks.
Received, Board President. The next item is that of the legislative update. I did include that in my weekly memo to the Board of Education. I didn't know if anyone had any questions regarding that component. I do have a legislative breakfast scheduled for this upcoming Monday with the Oakland County superintendents and our local legislators. So if there's anything that you'd like for me to lift, please email me that directly, and I will carry that forward to meet with them.
Understood.
Thank you. Next, we have our Bussey's Director's Report. Dr. Thompson?
Good afternoon, Board President, Board Trustees, Dr. Green.
Good afternoon.
Good
or
evening.
evening.
Sorry. All right, so welcome back. Welcome me back, too, for the 24-25 school year. So this is my September report, and I'm reporting on August numbers for this report. So I wanted to start off with thanking Dr. Freeman. We said she's unstoppable. Thank you, Deputy Superintendent Dr. Lenisa Freeman. Our staff came back on August 15th, and we had a jam-packed schedule with our pre-service training. The following week, we were supposed to do home visits and open our classrooms, and with the district closures, we weren't able to do all that. So our teachers came in, but Dr. Freeman stopped by. She came in on that Friday, and with her tennis shoes, and just knocked it out. So she threw away trash, moved furniture, she set up classrooms, really helped out with a lot of things. So we really do appreciate her support and helping us open on time and be prepared for our families to come back to Bussey. So thank you, Dr. Freeman. So the next piece is the enrollment. So for the summer we had our early Head Start program in session. So currently we have 16 students and pregnant moms enrolled in the early Head Start program, 0 vacancies, and then we have 5 on the waiting list. And then for August numbers for the projected students enrolled, we had 75, enrolled 53, that were not 53 vacant slots. For GSRP, we had 62 enrolled and 30 vacant slots. And we have more students enrolled since then. So I'll be excited to report for next month as well. And then again with IEPs, with the individualized education programs, we have 5 of the students who are enrolled with IEPs. We have 1 referral. And then, of course, our compliance for Head Start is 13, and for Early Head Start is 1. So preparing for the 2024-2025 school opening, right now we use the Child Plus database. Due to increased enrollment, the charges exceeded the $5,000 threshold due to the increased GSRP students. So we're excited about that. Even though we're paying more, we do have more students. And then for family engagement for the month of August, we held lots of parent orientations in preparation to enroll our students in the program. And then I already mentioned pre-service training. And then for staffing, we currently have 2 teachers. It says 3 there, but in August there were 3 teacher vacancies and 4 teacher CDA vacancies. We've been interviewing candidates every week, almost every week, except for the pre-service training time. And then we had our Bussey preschool welcome back. We started school on the 3rd of September, but we ended up having our welcome back for all of our children and our families this past Monday, September 9th. So we had our partners at Bussey. It was really exciting to see all the new faces and the returning families and to have our partners there. Thank you to the Southfield Police Department. They had a representative there. We had clergy there. Mr. Mark Ingram was there. Trustee Joyce was there. And we had Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and it was fun. So it was really nice. The parents were excited to be there. Oh, I forgot. And then Head Start Awareness Month is October 2024, so I'll be sharing how we will celebrate that. Thank you.
Trustees, any questions for Dr. Thompson? Hearing none. Thank you, Dr. Thompson.
Thank you so much.
Public participation. If you wish to address the board regarding a school-related issue that has not yet been resolved by school administration, please submit a comment card immediately. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. As a matter of fairness, speakers with complaints against individuals are asked not to mention any persons by name. Complaints concerning employees pursuant to Board Policy 9130 should be brought to the attention of school principals or other administrators before coming to the Board of Education. Your cooperation is appreciated. Mr. Gunther?
Good evening, Board.
Good evening, Mr. Gunther.
As you know, we share a common fence line and walkway. Mr. Collier's crew has done an excellent job trimming the trees in the walkway and leveling out the weeds that are in there. The thing is that they stopped at the end of the walkway. They did not weed or edge the rest of the fence line, which is my lawn man does on my side of the fence. I was hoping that, your men would do it also. I know it's 2 different crews. One does the mowing, one does the edging. And, I would like to see that done. You have to, the lawn guys have taken care of the invasive weeds that grow on the gate to the creek. And I've gotten a hold of Oakland County Water Commission to clean up the creek itself. So everything that you do is very much appreciated. Mr. Collier has done, his crew has done an excellent job. We are, my neighbors and I are very well pleased with the walkway. The kids going to university, K-12, have a nice clean area to walk through. So that's very much appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Marie Banks.
Good evening.
Good
Welcome
evening.
back, everyone. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you. As you know, I have 2 students at University K-12, and at our Jumpstart, I saw Mr. James Jackson, I saw Dr. Green, I saw Board President Ashanti Bland, Vice President Ms. Ware Duvall, and we all were working in the trenches. Same thing for the first day. And it takes all that. I came before you on the last board meeting and said we have to extend grace and we have to work together as a community. And we did that. Were there bumps in the road? Absolutely. Are we getting through them? Absolutely. I stand before you congratulating or thanking the counselors, the teachers, the administrators at university that are tirelessly working hard to make sure our students continue in the excellence that has already been established at university. We also are excited because we have our first fundraiser coming up next Monday. It's a Scholastic Book Fair. Email went out to all the parents. It starts Monday. It goes all next week. And I think we have a late day on the 19th. So you can come in the evenings for that day. But just stay on the lookout for university. We are still, excuse me? The 17th, I'm sorry. The leg day is on the 17th, thank you. But there's so many great things. I also want to say that for parents that have 8th graders in other schools to still consider university as a school of choice. My daughter just got back from Johns Hopkins this weekend, who's being recruited to play basketball, but the first question they asked me to send them before they even thought to watch her play was send me her transcripts and send me her course selection for her senior year. And it was not only after I sent that, they said, okay, you can come. But then after she came and she played well, they said, okay, for us to officially recruit you, we have to get your resume, we need to see official transcripts, and we have to submit it to admissions for them to clear us to recruit her. And I was proud to submit a university transcript that was able to show, because the coach said, if you have straight A's with no AP classes, I'm sorry, I can't recruit you. And I was proud to say I had a student with 10 AP classes. That only happens here in Southfield. I promise you. So when you all are thinking about choosing what school to attend, still consider us. We're getting better and better. Thank you again to all the members who supported us this week. I saw board president, superintendent out with the crossing guard. It takes all that. And so continue to support us, and we thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to piggyback off of that because I would be remiss if I did not say thank you to 3 people who worked extremely hard to get you the schedules that you ended up having at university, and that is Ms. Nisha Harper, Ms. Monique Green, and Ms. Jonita Jones. Many of you do not know they worked a 13-hour day to push out those schedules, and it was a growing pain. I'm not gonna sit here and act like everybody was making friendship bracelets and having a jolly good time. The bottom line was they got it done, and for that I'm grateful. And I don't think that people realize the dedication of our staff in that building, but those counselors pulled off an act of God in those 13 hours, and I just did not want to let this go by without saying thank you to them. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to the parents that I see in the halls at University K-12. I know this is new. K-12 has never been done in Southfield Public Schools. You do not see them too much in our district, in our state. So we're doing something new. I think it's gonna be fruitful. Thank you for this PTA. Lord Jesus, I see y'all more than I see my mama on some days. had dance at Kroger. Y'all talking about the boosters. Where's the band? We got football, but it's that village that reminds me that Southfield is still home, because that's what I had coming through Shanos, Thompson, and Lathrop. I can never do wrong because somebody's mama was always standing there, and you all are those moms. And so thank you for that. I truly appreciate you all, and thank you for spearheading and leading the charge toward positivity. It is greatly appreciated, and I just wanted to make sure that I lifted that. So thank you, Ms. Banks, and thank you, I as my son would say, y'all gang gang. So thank you all so much for everything you do. We really appreciate you.
The counseling department said, "You're welcome, Board President. Thank you," in real time.
Well, I'm glad that they're watching. I should have known. Moving forward, we have action items. We have the consent agenda, approval of minutes for August 13th and August 15th. Is there a motion on the floor to open and approve the consent agenda?
I motion to open and approve the consent agenda.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion surrounding the consent agenda of August 13th and August 15th? Hearing none. Vice President, please call for the vote.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 6212, Bussey Center for Early Childhood chiller replacement installation. This is using Head Start funds and the 2023 building and site bond. Trustees, if you need Dr. Green to elaborate more, this has been ongoing now for the last year and a half, I believe. So this is a continuation of that chiller replacement and installation. Do you have any questions for Dr. Green at this time? And for the community, you probably heard us mentioning this chiller off and on. This was a process getting this done at Bussey, but it's much needed, and so
It's complete.
this will be the completion of it all, and we just need to open and approve. Is there a motion on the floor?
I motion that we open and approve report 6212.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any other discussion surrounding this? Hearing none. Vice President, please call for the vote.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 62-121. As you all might remember, at our last meeting, this was brought in front of us for information only. This is the Levy pre-purchase equipment based on the 2023 building and site bond. As you all may recall, we are being proactive to purchase what we will need for the future so we can mitigate the long lead times. Does anyone have any questions regarding these pre-purchases for this equipment? By the way, I do want to say that I went by Levy, and the bathrooms look amazing. My hope is that the towel dispensers were put back where they should be. Wonderful.
I'm
But,
shaking my head to say yes, they will be if they have not already been
okay, I will
placed
check
back.
with Principal Jackson, but shout out to Levy. They're doing an amazing job of keeping that building clean. It looks good. Those bathrooms look amazing, so it's good to see the taxpayer dollar at work. Other than that, trustees, is there a motion to open and approve Report 62-121?
I motion that we open and approve report 62-121.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Vice President, please call for the vote.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 6301 and 6302 are both for the Stevenson project. One is for the abatement process. The other one is for the project coordination and air monitoring. As you all recall, we discussed this at length, and TJ actually gave us a description of what the air monitoring would be, and also the abatement process. We are now moving this to be actionable. Is there a motion to open and approve Report 6301 and 6302 for Stevenson?
I motion that we open and approve Report 6301 and 6302.
Is there any discussion? Oh, it's been properly moved and supported. I heard you, I'm sorry. Is there any discussion regarding 6301 and 6302?
Yes, Board President. I have recently or some time ago asked for a FOIA for this company, and I would like to see it before I make a vote. For the benefit of all Southfield students and the entire community, I'd like to be informed of what I'm voting for.
May I ask, so you FOIA the company,
No, I didn't do anything. I had asked for one.
so you would have to FOIA, you asked for a FOIA for the company, correct? So you, as a trustee, would have to FOIA the company itself. The district, Dr. Green, would you?
The district does not FOIA
individual
because
companies.
Sometimes there are fees associated with FOIA requests, and the FOIA request has to be specific to a certain item or a certain time period. If it's something you need us to assist you in drafting, we can do that.
I could
but
do
the
that.
Okay,
I know how to do it for you.
okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So
here
we
to
have
assist.
Report 6301 and Report 6302. I understand that Trustee Holloway would like to abstain from voting at this time. Is that correct?
Or she can vote.
Or you can vote no?
I could vote no.
Okay, understood. Is there a motion to open and approve
It
Report
was.
6301? Oh, we did it?
So we separate, we did,
Okay.
okay.
Is there any other discussion?
So can I ask for the record, do you want to continue with 6301 and 6302? Or
Yes. Both of them.
both of them? Okay. I'll call for the vote.
Okay.
Trustee Holloway?
No.
Trustee Belt?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
That is 4-1.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 6309, MESPA agreement. Dr. Green?
Yes, I am pleased to announce, and I see that we're joined here this evening by the MESPA president, to announce that we have a tentative agreement, which is a successor collective bargaining agreement with MESPA. This will go through June 30 of 2026.
Wonderful.
And it's already been TA'd and ratified on their end. If the board decides to vote in favor of it tonight, we will work with them to immediately get those pieces in place for them.
Wonderful. Trustees, you've heard that there is an agreement on the table for MESPA. Is there a motion to open and approve Report 6309?
I motion that we open and approve Report 6309.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion surrounding Report 6309? Hearing none.
Board President, I just wanted to correct myself when I looked up and I saw Ms. Phillips and I said we were joined by the president.
looking
That's
for
a different
Tanja.
president.
Yes,
Different
that's
president.
ESOS.
She's the
Look,
ESOS.
that's
but
ESOS. I
It's
knew
been a
that.
long day. You already heard I was directing traffic, right? So please forgive me. That is our ESOS president. So I just wanted
Got
to
it.
clarify that for the record.
Understood.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion surrounding Report 6309? Hearing none. Vice President, please call for the vote.
Myself, yes. Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Belt?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 6310, Food Service RFP. As you all may recall, at our last meeting, we did put in front of us for information extending SFE services
This
for,
is a different one.
which, oh, this is a different RFP.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a different one. This is the one where we are working diligently to be proactive. You approved the SFE contract
We
for
did.
1 year.
Okay.
This is to ask the board if we can go back out for RFP earlier in the school year versus
January.
waiting
Got
until
it.
the end to ensure that we are not asking for 30-day extensions when the summer months come
By all
around.
means.
So that is what this request
Please
is.
go out earlier. So Report 6310 is a request for us to start going out in January. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yes, okay. Trustees, you've heard the request of the superintendent. Is there a motion on the floor to open and approve Report 6310 to go out for food service RFPs beginning in January of 2025?
A motion that we open and approve report 6309.
No, 10.
I'm sorry, report 6310.
She was doing traffic as well.
Understood.
Support.
Thank you.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion surrounding Report 6310?
Yes. 6310. Is there an extension on this one? I know it's 1 year.
We're trying to avoid having to extend.
Okay.
So that's why she's asking to go out for it in January, other
Which would
than
be
in the
the
spring.
the 6-month mark.
So the company that's there now would have an opportunity to apply again? Is that-
Everyone would.
It would be an open bid process.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Is there anyone else for discussion? Hearing none. Vice President, please call for the vote.
Myself, yes. Trustee Holloway? Yes. Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Bland, Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 6311, Personnel Action Report. Trustees, you have the action report in the back of your packet. Before we begin discussion, please remind yourselves that we will need to open and approve Report 6311.
I request that we open and approve report 6311, personnel action report.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion? I do Dr. Green, number 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that solidified?
As of 5 o'clock this afternoon, there was another meeting to move forward in this direction.
I would like to keep abreast of that situation, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Number 13, I believe number 13 has made a verbal ask. Have we been in contact at all?
We have not.
Understood.
We would strongly suggest that individual put that request in writing.
Understood. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Number 24. Is that complete? Is that done? That transition's been made?
Yes, ma'am.
Trustees, any other discussion surrounding the talent management report?
Through the chair, yes. Number 9. Why the adjustment when the position is the same?
It's a 30.
It is an additional time, so once staff members have 30-plus years, they move to a different lane in our collective bargaining agreement.
Okay,
It's called out in our CBA.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion surrounding the talent management report? Hearing none. Vice President, please call for the vote.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. For information items, I would ask that Dr. Green report out on Report 6312 through Report 6314, considering they are all related to Head Start and Bussey Center for Early Childhood Education.
Yes, Madam President. 6312 is the updated Policy Council bylaws. There was a Policy Council meeting earlier today. Unfortunately, I had a conflict. I'm not sure if any of the trustees were able to join that, but that is required by Head Start, that we continuously update our bylaws for the Bussey Early Childhood Center. You all received a copy of those, and we were able to address any questions that may have come forward. The second is that of the Bussey Early Childhood Education Center Staff Handbook, so that we have a set of norms and expectations across the entire early childhood spectrum there at Bussey. The third one is that of ECE Subhub, to ensure that we have adequate and qualified staff to fill in for vacancies where they may occur throughout the year, just as we have with Kelly Services for the subs in our K-12 space.
Dr. Green, do you need any of these to move to be actionable this evening? From what I understand, these would need to be approved in order for us to
Move forward.
be in compliance.
That is correct. If it's the pleasure of the board, we do ask that they move forward. Unfortunately, with us having to cancel our study session due to the power outage, everything is time sensitive.
Understood. Trustees, you've heard the wish of the superintendent. You've all had the bylaws and the policy. Is Yvette's phone?
Oh, okay.
You've all received a copy and hopefully read through all of these. Is there a motion on the floor to open and approve these reports?
I motion that we open and approve report 6312 through 14.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any other discussion surrounding 6312 through 14?
Board President, if I can just add, I did receive a message that Trustee Joyce was on the Policy Council meeting
I
earlier
figured
today.
that. Thank you for that. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Vice President, please call for the vote.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Belt?
Yes.
Trustee Glenn?
Yes.
Myself, yes, unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Report 6315, School Resource Officer Contract, General Fund. I'd like to point out that in all the time that we've had an SRO, we have never had an actual contract. So this actually is setting a precedent between us and the Southfield Police Department. So I will allow Dr. Green to have this conversation. I would also ask that if this contract is finalized and needs to be approved by the board, that the trustees make this an actionable item. Dr. Green?
Board President, I ask that if it's the pleasure of the board, it becomes actionable. It has already gone before City Council, and they too approved this contract. This solidifies the agreement between the Southfield, the City of Southfield, and the Southfield Public Schools, whereby it outlines the specific amount of monies that we would pay toward the SRO. We split the cost of the salary with the city and that of our school resource officers. It also outlines the number of school resource officers that we will have in our district, and it is a binding agreement for 5 years, which is the maximum amount of time that a district and municipality would enter into such agreement.
Trustees, you've heard the ask of the superintendent. Would anyone like to put a motion for it to open and approve Report 6315, which is the contract between us and the Southfield Police Department for our school resource officers?
I motion that we open and approve report 6315.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion?
Yes. Dr. Green, you said that we split 50-50 with the police department or the city?
Well, with the city, because the police department
is funded.
they are funded by way of the city, so we do split it with the city.
With the city?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Vice President, please call for the vote.
Myself, yes. Trustee Belt?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Report 6316, Cognia Accreditation Fee, Fiscal Year 25. This comes out of general funds.
Thank you, Board President. Many may or may not be aware that Southfield Public Schools is one of the few school districts that are fully accredited by Cognia, which is the national accreditation agency. And every so many years, you have to go through a reaccreditation process. We also have annual fees that we have to pay to the accreditation corporation. That being said, this is our accreditation year, and as a result, it is a $20,000 charge for them to come out and actually do the accreditation visit to ensure that we are able to maintain our standing. We will receive a partial credit toward our annual fees as this visit occurs.
Dr. Green, do we need to pay the fee before they come out?
We do.
Understood. When are they scheduled to come out?
November of 2024.
Trustees, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
And what's the cadence of them coming out? Is this like every other year?
Every 5
5
years.
years.
Every 5 years, yes. We are accredited for 5 years. We pay an annual fee, which is less than the accreditation fee, to ensure that we're maintaining our accreditation. And let me speak a little as to why the accreditation is so important. When our scholars apply to go to colleges and universities, they ask if you're graduating from an accredited school and/or district. And oftentimes, scholars don't know, and they click yes, but if they were ever challenged to that application, it could backfire. At one point, there were 2 different types of accreditation, and we learned that one was not technically an accrediting agency. So many school districts had acquiesced to the lesser cost and did not have full accreditation. Southfield maintained both accreditations to ensure that our scholars were able to go to the post-secondary schools of their choosing.
Dr. Green, is there a need to make this actionable this evening? I heard you say November. Would there be any other information forthcoming regarding this?
Not regarding this item, and if Ms. Summer Caldwell Carruthers had it her way, she would very much like for this to be actionable.
Is that true, Ms. Summer Caldwell Carruthers? I got it. Trustees, you've heard and seen the nod of Ms. Summer Caldwell Carruthers and Dr. Green. If it be the pleasure of this board, is there a motion on the floor to open and approve Report 6316?
I motion that we open and approve Report 6316.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any other discussion surrounding this report? Hearing none, Vice President, please call for the vote.
Myself, yes. Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Financial report and monthly bill disbursement, I will defer to our board treasurer for this. There is nothing to report this evening.
But Board Treasurer, I would like to lift that our auditors are in the district for the next several weeks.
I was gonna lift that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
They
was
are
actually gonna say that I'm assuming that by the time we have our study session, we might have a preliminary finding from our auditors. 2 weeks?
No,
We might
they
get
don't
an
move as
email.
fast as you,
As I
Board
do?
President.
Well,
Yes,
I move quick.
they will probably have that in November.
So we will discuss in November, but I will lift that during our next study session. We will get more information from the treasurer. We did have a conversation about her process for going through the monthly disbursement and the financial report, and we have some policies that we also need to update, so that will take place in 2 weeks as well. Thank you. Oh, look where we are. We are at for the good of the order. So I'm going to take this time to remind everyone in the audience that there's a dress code in Southfield Public Schools. And I know that it's hot, but the crop tops are against dress code. So if your top can be confused for a sports bra, you are out of compliance. If your shorts could be confused for underwear, you are out of compliance. I fully support this administration in asking our students to either change clothes or to go home. It is a distraction. You cannot go to work wearing some of the things that our students come to school wearing. So we will say it again. Oh, and we're revisiting that policy as well. we have heard from those of you who are in support of refining our dress code. I will not use the bad word that starts with a U. I will use a euphemism for it. Refining our dress code to ensure not just that our scholars are coming to school with respect, but for safety purposes as well. So I just wanted to lift that. Also, we know the parking lot is an issue on many campuses. We appreciate your patience. Dr. Green, we are getting pedestrian lines drawn at the U.
We are getting pedestrian lines drawn, and we are also getting no parking lines drawn specifically along the athletic field area.
And so I just wanted everyone to hear that piece. We are aware also that at the U there is, we're using all the doors now, right? So students can come in and go out of every door, and we know that they lock at a certain time. I was over there today. Parents, check your U newsletter. Dean Bowden has asked that if your child is coming in late, drop them off at the front door. If they're a middle schooler, don't drop them off at G-Wing. That door is locked.
What is the front door, Board President?
The
Because
front door is the
different for
door
everyone.
by the main office.
By the
The
rock.
main
By
office
the rock.
by the rock, where the windows are, G-Wing, where the illustrious Southfield Lathrop sign used to be, for all you Chargers.
I don't think they.
Hey, girl, hey. So I just wanted to make sure you all knew that we are working on a different access route for G-Wing, but until we get it, if your students come late, could you please drop them off? It's gonna start getting darker. I don't want kids outside while it's dark or trying to walk around. So parents, if you hear this, or if you know someone that drops their baby off to G-Wing, please drop them off at the main office door if you will be arriving after the first bell. Did I have anything else for the good of the order? Oh, welcome to all the new administrators and secretaries and teachers. We're super happy to have you. Welcome to all the new families. I believe in the fall, will we be opening up testing again? Are we?
For the U?
For the U.
Yes, we
A lot
are,
of people have
meeting.
asked.
So we are meeting as a committee to discuss any modifications that we'd like to make to the application process. We will have a test. We will have a test this fall, probably in the month of November, and then we will have one in the very early spring, so March, and that will conclude. We will no longer host summer testing sessions.
Understood. Picture day is tomorrow, also parents,
We had
so.
one yesterday too at the
So,
other school.
Y'all, don't forget, don't let your babies eat the Danimals yogurt in the car and then they don't wipe their mouth, so they had the milk mustache when they go to take their picture.
Not our scholars.
Mine will. She loves eating stuff in the car and not wiping her mouth off. So that's another thing. Oh, congratulations to Adler and Stevenson. They were both featured on the news during their first week of school. Great job to both of those building leaders and those scholars. And that is all I have. Reminder, presidential debate comes on at 9 o'clock this evening. Have your scholars watch it. This is potentially going to be an historic presidential year, so have your scholars watch it, I'm sure. Some teachers are offering extra credit. I know they used to do that, but I'm old. And that was it for
Board
the good of
President.
the order. Whoa.
Through the chair.
Okay.
Adler is having a ribbon cutting on the 25th
25th?
at 5 p.m., 5 to 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none. Let's see here. Future meetings. We have our next meeting coming on Tuesday, September 24th, special board meeting at 6 p.m. And then our next regular board meeting is at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, October 8th. This meeting is adjourned at 8:21. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Yay.